Hello, good evening, welcome to this week's weekly outlook. We do have quite the heavy calendar for the week ahead, so we'll be taking it day by day. A weekly outlook seems a bit optimistic regarding all the news that we have coming up, but I'll post a video every day to the group and we'll just take it from there. But these are the instruments that I'm looking at. Longer term, we'll start off with the dollar. I'm bullish on the dollar and have been hands off since this pullback. We have resistance here, we have resistance here, a bit of support here. Also got this structure running through, which may come into play, may not. I'm just going to have it on my chart anyway. Support, 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 and we're coming into this area of confluence where we have past resistance could turn to support, and we have this structure going through that could turn to support. So just waiting until we maybe have another leg lower in us, which may be triggered by the news that we have this week. But I'm just marking out previous levels of support and resistance on the way down. So we have support here, we've got that break retest as resistance, and if we come down, say we miss the move in here, we can sort of reclaim these levels again to get involved further up if needs be. But I'm bullish on the dollar. How that looks going across the board, we'll take a look at Euro USD. On the weekly time frame, this has been quite strong, but overall very bearish. On the higher time frames, this is a weekly. We have a little area of confluence coming into here. We have resistance, resistance, and resistance, and I'm just waiting for the tide to turn on that. So I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't have any day trades set up for this. This is a longer term trade, and I am looking for price to roll over and come down and make new lows. So there'll be plenty of time to get involved with that. I don't want to be trying to short something so strong at the moment. We do have levels of interest that if we do break below support, resistance on the way down, say we get something like this, then this would be a key area for me to start looking for shorts on that. Let's quickly move on. Pound the same, looking for a little bit of a rollover to the downside. Not quite ready yet, it'll have to be timed with the dollar. Aussie is actually probably the pick of the bunch for me in terms of weakness against the dollar, and we're coming into a little bit of resistance here, and some support could turn to resistance. You can see if I zoom in that we are slowing down, momentum is slowing down. If I take this weekly high, you see we failed to close above it previous week, and this week just gone has failed to close above it. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here at the start of the week with all this news coming. We do have a lot of stops resting below these weekly lows as well, and that's something that I'll be targeting. But I do have another instrument, Aussie yen, that I would like to get involved with this week to the downside. So just quickly finishing off the dollar pairs, Kiwi pretty strong but coming into resistance on the weekly time frame. Dollar Swiss still at an area of previous resistance, could turn to support. I'd wait for a weekly close back inside. You can see this low here acting as support, this low acting as support. I'd wait for a weekly candle close back inside here, use this structure of support to get in board the upside. So a little bit of patience required there. Dollar CAD is actually one of the favourites to the upside. You can see that it's been quite strong. That's because of CAD weakness, and that'll be something that I would be looking to trade if we do get any pullbacks. If I was to get into some dollar pairs, it'd be dollar CAD to the upside, Aussie dollar to the downside. So any pullbacks, maybe we get a little structure like this, and I'll be looking for these highs to go in a dollar CAD. Dollar yen is one of the instruments I'm not interested in regarding trading, because I feel that yen will be strong and dollar will be strong, and you can see we've broken to the downside. So what that tells me is I'm looking for yen strength, but I'm going to pair it up with different instruments, such as Aussie yen, which I'll go on to now as one of my favourite plays for the week ahead. I was looking to short this last week, but we'll start off on the weekly time frame. And I'm just looking to the left, and I'm looking for areas of support and resistance. This is a clear area of support as we bounce from here, and we failed to close below it until, let's get this, you can see support, 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 clean close below, and now we're coming up to retest this level. That's a level that interests me very much. Let's go down into the 2 hour, and we can look at this channel. Not the cleanest, but it adds confluence to this level. 93,121 is where I would look for price to turn around, come down, and I'm aiming for new lows in Aussie yen. You can see the structure, and now we're just in this pullback phase, and I'm looking for that yen strength to kick in, come down and make new lows. What would negate that is if we close above and retest from the other side, then I'll not be interested in this. If we get the reaction that we want from here, then I'll be all over Aussie yen. We can go down into the hourly, and what I do would be mark out this weekly high at the moment, look for a deviation up, so we look for come up, retest, close back below, and then this is where we look to sell Aussie yen. And let's see if we can have a little, if we had anything close to what yeah, here we go. Here's a previous weekly high, you can see on the Monday, and then Tuesday came up, then we deviate back below, and then we sold off. So that's exactly what I'd be looking for in and around this area. Once we sweep a weekly level or a daily level, in here is where you're hunting for your price to go lower. So that's what I'm looking for on Aussie yen. I'm bearish Aussie yen, and I'm looking for new lows to come in. I don't think it'll be, you know, this week, but I'm trying to get in front of the curve so that we get a nice price to short at. CAD yen is something I'm interested in as well. Let's go out to the weekly, just so you can see just how price is pretty strong to the downside. Pretty strong close, very strong close, and a inside week last week. So what interests me now is this previous weekly high. If you move that up there, something to keep an eye on. If we come up, start of the week, deviate that, then I'll be looking to sell CAD yen. It looks pretty heavy to the downside, and I'm just trying to get involved with some momentum to the downside. So yeah, just marking out that previous weekly high. You can see it's Monday's high. We haven't really taken out a daily high in some time, so hopefully at the start of the week we get a pullback. We take out this high, we take out this high, we take out this high and this high, take out stops, and then we roll over to the downside. Daily high is quite important to me in my trading. You can see daily highs and daily lows, so you can see this daily low here. Once it's taken, you get a nice reaction to the upside. Even though I'm bearish, you can see every time it takes a daily high or low, we get a reaction to the downside. The last time we were looking at this was over here, because we had come up, taken Tuesday's high, and we traded away quite quickly. So that's the telltale signs that I'll be looking for. You can see price is just in this consolidating manner. We can mark out this previous weekly low. We have support here, we have support here, support here. Either we come up, take these daily highs, previous weekly high would be even better. And then this becomes our hunting ground for lower prices. If it's too weak, comes down and then retests like this, then that's where we get involved. But all in all, I'm bearish on CAD yen. Aussie yen and CAD yen are my two favourite plays going into this week. So those would be the main focus for me. Pound CAD has been on quite a tear as well. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, we've had several strong weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strong weeks, not even a down week. And yeah, the momentum is to the upside. We haven't really swept a weekly low yet. So another option is to look at weekly highs. So I've marked out this weekly high here. I've marked out this weekly high here. If you go down into the 1 hour time frame and look at these previous weekly highs, what happens and what telltale signs on how to get involved. So we have this weekly high, let Monday unfold, we end up lower on Monday below the weekly high. This becomes deviation, we break above and we go higher. Another deviation down here for second chance and we go higher. Monday's range comes down lower, finish higher on Tuesday, and then they use that as a platform to push price higher. And I'm pretty sure if you go through previous weeks with the weekly high, Monday's below the weekly high, even Tuesday's below it, we get that break on Wednesday, and that pushes price higher. We get previous weekly high, we come lower on Monday, we break it on Tuesday, come back and retest, and that's what sends price higher. So that's what I'd be looking for on pound CAD. Just if the momentum's to the upside and we don't really get any pullbacks, either we look for the previous weekly high, or you can look for daily lows. You can see here, swept, moves to the upside. We get one swept here. Look how close you can get to the action, move to the upside. So just keep an eye on the daily lows, daily highs and lows, and the weekly highs and lows, and you're going to get some nice trades if that's where your playground is. Pound CAD to the upside, and I'm going to leave you with New Zealand CAD to the upside as well. If we take a look at the weekly, you can see how CAD is very, very weak, and that's why I would like CAD yen to the downside. But we broke out of this structure, resistance rolling through here. Look how many weeks of bullish momentum we've had. It may come to a close this week, we may be wrong, we have a lot of news, but this is something that I'm looking at. It's not my favourite pair to look at for this week, but something that I'll be keeping an eye on. If a trade comes to me, then it comes to me. So just keep an eye on, like I said, those weekly highs and lows, those daily highs and lows. If you're bullish and you get a sweep of one of those, well then you're letting the trade come to you. And let's see if we have a sweep here. Friday's low. If you were looking to get involved in here, you may have caught this. You may have made a few pips. We have this daily low here. Does it sweep here a little bit and then moves to the upside? So with the bullish momentum, if we come down, all you have to do is start marking out the daily highs and lows, and that's where you want to be hunting for your trades at. So those are the favourite plays going this week. CAD yen and Aussie yen are the two things I like the look of the most. Dollar, I'm just going to have to wait for a turnaround in. Maybe with all the news this week, that's the catalyst for pushing price lower on those dollar pairs and a bit of strength in the dollar. But like I say, I don't really like to focus too far ahead, and we'll just take it day by day. We'll read what we've got the previous day and see how we work with that. So Bitcoin, let's end it on Bitcoin, because yeah, it's been very, very choppy, and I'm not really interested in trading it. If you're interested in trading it, then if your bias is to the upside, look for these daily lows. Monday's low, stays below it, breaks above, there's your trade idea. Obviously the weekend price action is not tradable to me, but yeah, you can see how many opportunities you can get if you're just waiting for that opportunity. So what I am actually waiting on, if we go out to the weekly, is a price in and around 19k up in here for a bigger move to the downside. Now if this is a deviation and we break and retest, then we're going higher, but at the moment this is in a downtrend, and this is just a pullback phase at the moment, and it could be another leg lower. We have confirmed support here, confirmed support here. Support could turn to resistance, not saying it always does, but we can look at this structure. Let me get the correct tool. We can just follow structure up. If it reacts off this, breaks structure to the downside, then we can get involved with Bitcoin shorts. At the moment, if you want to play it to the upside, I've just marked out these previous weekly highs. As you can see, this weekly high is cap and price, so you just wait for a solid candle close. Let's just go out to the H4. We have resistance here, a bit of a deviation, resistance running through. So if you get a good candle close, H4, that may trigger a move to the upside. It may interest me in Bitcoin, but like I say, I'm just waiting for the dollar to turn around and get most of the big trades are going to be to the downside, I feel. on those dollar pairs. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. As I say, take it day by day. Keep an eye on the calendar, because there's a lot going to be coming out, and it's going to be like the Wild West out there. So yeah, take it day by day. Be careful. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. We'll let Monday unfold a little bit, and then we'll see where we are with some plans.